we probably don't give the umpiring part of the game, the umpiring industry, enough credit for the impact that they have on our sport. You know, they're essential, and yeah, this is a role at community level which I'm really enjoying, and there's some challenges there because there's some areas that we need to address, and the environment needs to change, and we need, as we heard earlier in the season, we're about 6,000 umpires short at community level. So the growth in football is not being matched by the growth in umpiring at the moment. So there's too many games, not enough umpires. So we've seen, you know, women's footy really take off. We just want to make sure that the growth in umpiring is matching the growth in participation. So a lot of work to do, but with some really great programs and initiatives. You know, obviously being in Perth at the moment, you know, the WAFC are doing a fantastic job in, you know, supporting junior community sport and getting more and more umpires, and, you know, recruiting, retaining, growing the game in umpiring. It's great.
And just notice, I just there and here in the fine system with the clubs, and obviously you've been in a lot of clubs there, Santo, and just seeing how they've created their own little club within a club with the umpires family, and that's so good because you need to have a bit of fun and humour along the way as well. Yeah,
you're right, and there's so many. I mean, I think here in Perth, or in WA, for example, there's 43 separate umpire leagues or associations. So there's a lot of umpire groups spread across the state, and they do it really well. You know, they got to build culture, they've got to build teamwork, they've got to build an energy and an excitement around developing their young umpires, and you know, we were lucky enough to sit in there tonight and see how they do it here, which was fantastic.
It's given me, and you were there too, what a bit more insight in umpiring. It's not just running around cones and getting fit. There's so much things you've got to position yourself. You've got to understand the rules of the game, but also you've got to have a bit of stakeholder engagement with the players and everything as well. So it's really blown my mind just spending a bit of time with the lads in there, just hearing what's going through there, and probably from their point of view, seeing a person like you who've played and coached, it probably gives them a bit more respect, going, geez, this guy's in charge of the umpires. It gives us a bit of hope, I suppose.
Well, there's a fair bit of coaching goes on too, and I think one of the great things about our game, unlike other sports where it's sort of cut and dry, if there's a decision, well, there's a lot of interpretation in our game, like holding the ball. I mean, we're one of the few sports where, when you go to market, you know, other sports will say we try and catch it, and even if we drop it, we sometimes still pay a mark. You know, where like in cricket, you catch it or you drop it.
Yeah.
Whereas in footy, you can mark it and then drop it, but it's if you've held it for long enough. So there's a lot of interpretation, and we debate it, and you hear talkback radio about the umpiring decisions or whatever, but it's what makes our game great, because there's a group of men or women on the field as umpires who are controlling the game, they're managing the game. There's so much energy and excitement. The ball just flies up and down the field now. So it's a really good opportunity for umpires. They're right in the thick of the action. Like they're right in there amongst it. And talking to some of the young umpires tonight, they absolutely love it. It's great.
Interesting, because my young nephew plays Auskick for Scarborough, so I went down there on Sunday morning just to go and his old man's umpires the game, so they have the umpire, and just the way they involve the kids, and you've got to position yourself, okay, to do the zones, but educating those guys and educating them in the game of footy, that's really a role the umpires do as well. You can see in some players go off the head and they go, actually, no, mate, this is what you've got to do, and you have that kind of rapport with the players as well. It's pretty important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, just to jump in. It's so important. You see that. I think we see that during the Perth Footy League as well. Is having that real communication with the players, and once you've got that respect, and you'd probably know from your playing days, you probably umpires you'd get on better with than others. And while you don't always necessarily agree, being able to have that open dialogue just makes it, so much better for the game as well. And whether you're playing at, let's say, low-level Auskick or up at, on the big stage, I think having that ability for players and umpires to actually chat and, discuss those things, it's better for the game, isn't it? And hopefully it allows us to, get more umpires in as well, which is what we need in WA and right the way across the game.
Yeah, we do. And if the environment is inclusive and umpires feel safe, and obviously they can enjoy what they do, like I said, they've got the best seat in the house. They're right there in the thick of it. So yeah, I think umpiring's a great choice to make if you're. I mean, there's so many umpires that still play.
Yeah.
So they either play on a Saturday, umpire on a Sunday, or vice versa. And obviously it gets harder as you get older because you got to work or you're studying and you've got other commitments in your life. But umpiring is a great choice. If you love footy, umpiring is a great choice.
And has this role given you more work-life balance for you, mate, than being full-time coach?
Yeah. I mean, I've got my weekends back, which is great. Like, but I'm loving footy now more than ever. So I'll watch an AFL game now with a slightly different lens. Before, when I was a coach or even when I was a player, you watch the game differently. You're looking for more strategy, structure type things, and it's a job. It was a job.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm just a fan. It's obviously I work for the AFL, but I'm just a fan like everybody else. So, I mean, watching the Friday night game, sitting around with some mates or going to the game, I just love it.
You can relax and have a couple of profs, mate.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's your biggest challenge, mate, for your role in this, the gig? What are you going
to do? We've got lots of challenges ahead. And like I said before, the growth of the game, we need to ensure that we're still growing. So we've got to, recruiting umpires and ensuring that we're getting more and more young people and, middle-aged men and women coming down and just trying umpiring.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the past have come and tried and then, felt like it wasn't for them and moved on, but a lot come back. So, like I said, if we can get people to come and try, have an environment that is safe, inclusive, enjoyable, and, you stay fit, you learn leadership, a little bit of money, a little bit of pocket money on the side, doesn't hurt anyone. So I think if we can recruit well, then look to retain, and then grow and educate our umpiring industry, that will provide a bigger pool for the community. And who knows, we'll get our next squad of AFL umpires come through community level and umpire an AFL grand final. That's obviously the
pathway for them too, isn't it?
Yeah. Developing an academy system where we can identify our best young talent and find a way to fast track them to the MCG.